Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. Someone you trusted, someone you believed in, crosses a line. Maybe they disrespected you, broke your trust, or took you for granted. The sting of betrayal, disrespect, or even indifference hits you like a wave. You stand there, your mind racing, your emotions spiraling. You feel that primal urge rise within you, the urge to confront them, to defend yourself, to explain, or maybe to hurt them the way they hurt you. It's human nature. We want to be heard. We want them to understand how much damage they've done. But let me ask you something. What if the most powerful thing you could do in that moment is nothing? What if the most unforgettable, unshakable move you could make is to walk away, quietly, without a word, without an explanation? You see, in a world where people are quick to react, quick to argue, quick to throw words around like weapons, silence is rare. Silence is unsettling. It's a void that demands to be filled. When you walk away without giving them the satisfaction of your reaction, you're saying more than words ever could. You're saying, I know my worth, and it doesn't depend on your acknowledgement. I don't need your validation to prove who I am. That kind of quiet confidence, it's unforgettable. Let's pause here for a moment. Think about the impact of silence. Think about how unnerving it feels when someone doesn't respond, when they simply remove themselves from the equation. It's human psychology. People hate voids. They hate not knowing. And when you walk away, you leave behind questions that echo louder than any argument. Why did they leave? What are they thinking? Did I push them too far? What have I lost? Your absence becomes the loudest voice in the room, forcing them to sit with their actions and wrestle with their own thoughts. Now, here's where it gets even more profound. This isn't just a psychological trick. It's a principle deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. The Stoics, some of the most brilliant minds in history, understood this power better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics believed that true power lies in mastering yourself, not in trying to control others. Walking away in silence isn't about giving up. It's about choosing yourself. It's about saying, I refuse to waste my energy on things that do not serve me. But let's take this a step further. When combined with the principles of dark psychology, silence becomes not just a tool of self-control, but a weapon of influence. Silence leaves a psychological imprint. It forces others to face themselves, to question their actions, and to live with the discomfort of the unknown. Your quiet departure becomes an unresolved chapter in their mind, one they can't stop revisiting. So, what happens when you combine the emotional mastery of Stoicism with the psychological impact of silence? You create a force so powerful it commands respect, attention, and even regret, without you ever having to lift a finger. In this video, we're going to explore exactly how to master the art of walking away quietly. I'll show you why silence isn't just the absence of words, it's the presence of strength. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to use your silence and absence as tools to reclaim your power, protect your peace, and leave a lasting impression on anyone who underestimated you. But before we dive in, let's make a declaration. Go to the comments right now and type these words, "My silence is my strength." Write it down. Make it real. Let the world know that you are choosing to rise above the noise and reclaim your power. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It helps this message reach others who need to hear it. Are you ready to embrace the quiet power of walking away? Are you ready to let your actions, or lack of them, speak louder than words? Let's get started. Let's talk about silence. In today's noisy world, silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, as avoidance, as a lack of courage. But to the Stoics, the ancient philosophers who built their lives on principles of reason and self-control, silence was one of the greatest forms of strength. Silence wasn't about ignoring a problem, it was about rising above it. It was about mastering yourself so completely that the actions of others could no longer disturb your peace. Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher-emperor, once wrote, "You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never a need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you cannot control." Let that sink in. You always have the option of having no opinion. You always have the power to choose silence over conflict, peace over chaos, and self-respect over the need to be right. When someone disrespects you, your first instinct might be to fight back, to defend your name, your character, your choices. But the Stoics teach us that true power isn't in controlling others, it's in controlling yourself. Imagine standing in the eye of a storm, calm and unshaken, while chaos rages around you. That is the power of silence. That is the power of self-control. And silence doesn't just protect your peace, it sends a message. When you refuse to engage in petty arguments or defend yourself against baseless accusations, you're saying, "I don't need to prove myself to anyone." You're showing that your self-worth isn't tied to what others think or say about you. And that kind of quiet confidence, it commands respect. But here's the thing, silence isn't easy. It takes discipline to bite your tongue when you feel the urge to respond. It takes strength to walk away when every part of you wants to stand and fight. It takes wisdom to realize that some battles aren't worth fighting because winning them would cost you your peace. This is the essence of Stoicism. It's not about avoiding challenges, it's about knowing which challenges are worth your energy and which are not. And here's a practical tip. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of this Stoic principle. Their words or actions cannot harm me unless I let them. Think about it. Their words only have power if you give them power. Their actions only disturb your peace if you allow them to. So how do you practice this in your daily life? Start small. The next time someone tries to draw you into an argument, don't respond. Walk away. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, you'll start to notice something incredible. The more you master the art of silence, the more control you'll feel over your emotions, your reactions, and your life. If this resonates with you so far, take a moment to pause and declare your power in the comments below. I choose silence over chaos. Type it out. Let it be a reminder to yourself and to others that you're committed to mastering the art of self-control. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video. It helps us spread this message to others who need to hear it. Now let's shift our focus to something even more fascinating, the psychological impact of silence. Silence isn't just about protecting your peace or practicing self-control. It's also one of the most powerful ways to influence others. Why? Because silence creates space, and in that space, people are forced to confront themselves. Think about the last time someone gave you the silent treatment. It was uncomfortable, wasn't it? Your mind likely raced with questions. What are they thinking? Did I say something wrong? Why aren't they responding? That discomfort, that mental turmoil, that's the power of silence at work. It forces the other person to reflect, to question, to analyze, often far more than any words ever could. Here's why this happens. Silence disrupts the natural flow of communication. When someone says or does something to provoke you, they expect a reaction. That reaction validates their behavior, whether it's good or bad. But when you don't react, you break the cycle. You deprive them of the satisfaction they were seeking, and instead, you hand them a mirror. They're left to sit with their actions, replaying the situation in their mind, searching for answers that your silence refuses to give. This concept is grounded in a psychological principle called cognitive dissonance, the discomfort people feel when their actions and their expectations don't align. When you respond to someone's provocation, it confirms their belief that they've gotten under your skin. But when you walk away quietly, you create dissonance. They expected conflict, but instead they're met with stillness. That dissonance forces them to question themselves. Why didn't they react? Did I go too far? Were they stronger than I thought? But silence doesn't just confuse, it commands respect. When you refuse to engage in petty arguments or unnecessary drama, you're showing that your energy is too valuable to be wasted. You're saying, I won't let you drag me into your chaos. And here's the truth. People notice that kind of strength. They may not admit it, but deep down they respect it. They start to see you differently, not as someone who can be easily provoked, but as someone who is in complete control of their emotions and their life. Now, let's talk about how to use this power effectively. Silence isn't about shutting people out or avoiding confrontation entirely. It's about being strategic. When someone disrespects you or tries to provoke you, ask yourself, will responding add value to this situation, or will it simply drain my energy? If it's the latter, choose silence, walk away, let your absence carry the weight of the message you're trying to send. Here's an example. Imagine a coworker or acquaintance makes a snide comment about you. Instead of firing back, look them in the eye for a moment, then turn and walk away without a word. That silence, that calm, composed silence, it says more than any clever comeback ever could. It shows that their words mean nothing to you, that they hold no power over you. And trust me, they'll feel it. If you're starting to see how powerful silence can be, take a moment to affirm it. Go to the comments right now and type this. Silence speaks louder than words. Write it as a reminder to yourself and to others that you're choosing a path of strength and self-control. And don't forget to like this video. It helps us share these insights with more people. Now that we've explored the power of silence, let's go one step further. Your absence. If silence is your voice, then your absence is your statement. A bold declaration that commands attention and demands respect. When you walk away quietly, you're not just leaving a situation. You're making an impact that lingers long after you're gone. Here's why absence is so powerful. It creates a vacuum. People don't notice what they have until it's no longer there. Your presence, your energy, your contributions, these things often go unnoticed when they're constant. But the moment you remove yourself, people start to feel the weight of your absence. They realize what they took for granted, and they're left to reflect on why you walked away. This principle is deeply tied to the Stoic belief in detachment. The Stoics taught that we shouldn't cling to things or people that disrupt our inner peace. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "He who is brave is free." Brave enough to detach from toxic situations, brave enough to let go of what doesn't serve you. And when you walk away, you're showing that bravery, not just to others, but to yourself. Let's look at this through a psychological lens. Absence isn't just about making others miss you, it's about shifting the balance of power. Think about it. When you're always available, when you're constantly explaining yourself, or when you're trying to fix everything, you're giving away your power. But when you walk away, you're taking that power back. You're saying, I don't need to convince you of my worth. My absence will make you feel it. Now, here's where the real magic happens. Absence isn't just noticed, it's felt. When someone wrongs you and you walk away, their mind begins to fill in the gaps. They start to wonder, why did they leave? What are they thinking? Have I lost them for good? That sense of uncertainty creates a ripple effect. It forces them to confront their own actions, their own shortcomings, and their own loss. And the best part? You don't have to do anything. Your absence does the work for you. But let me be clear. Walking away isn't about manipulation. It's not about punishing others or playing games. It's about protecting your peace and honoring your self-worth. When you walk away, you're not trying to make someone regret their actions. You're simply choosing to remove yourself from a situation that doesn't align with your values. If they reflect on their actions and change, that's a bonus. If not, you've still won because you've stayed true to yourself. So how do you turn absence into a statement? It's simple. The next time someone disrespects you, instead of reacting, take a deep breath and walk away. No drama, no explanations, no parting words. Just leave. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but over time you'll realize how liberating it is to choose yourself over the need to be understood. And if this idea resonates with you, take a moment to declare your power in the comments below. Write this: "My absence is my power." Say it, believe it, and let it guide you the next time you face a situation that threatens your peace. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video. Help us spread this message to others who need it. Walking away is powerful, but how you walk away matters even more. To truly leave an impression, you must walk away with dignity and strength, not in anger, not in haste, and certainly not in weakness. When you leave with your head held high, you're not just creating distance, you're making a statement about who you are and what you stand for. Dignity starts with self-control. It means resisting the urge to lash out or explain yourself before you leave. It's easy to want to have the last word, to make sure the other person understands why you're walking away. But here's the truth: your actions will always speak louder than your words. When you leave without drama or confrontation, you're showing that you're above the chaos, that your peace is more important than their opinion. This is where Stoicism shines. Epictetus, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you walk away calmly and confidently, you're showing that their actions, their words, and their behavior have no power over you. You're proving that your self-worth isn't tied to how they treat you. And that kind of composure, it's unforgettable. But maintaining dignity doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It's okay to feel hurt, angry, or disappointed. The key is to channel those emotions into strength rather than reaction. Think of it like this: every time you choose to walk away with dignity, you're building emotional resilience. You're teaching yourself that you don't need to rely on external validation to feel whole. You're becoming stronger, more grounded, and more in control of your own story. And let's talk about strength. Strength isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, and even spiritual. It's the ability to walk away knowing that you're doing what's best for you, even if it's difficult. It's trusting that your absence will speak volumes, even if you don't see the results right away. Strength is choosing long-term peace over short-term satisfaction. It's the courage to let go of what doesn't serve you, even when it hurts. Here's a practical tip. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you need to walk away, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, straighten your posture, and remind yourself of this truth: I am enough as I am. I don't need anyone's approval to feel whole. Then leave. Don't look back. Don't let their reaction, or lack of one, sway you. You're not walking away for them, you're walking away for you. And if this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your strength. Go to the comments right now and write this: I walk away with dignity and strength. Let it be a reminder to yourself and to others that you are committed to protecting your peace and valuing your worth. And don't forget to hit that like button. It helps spread this message to others who need it. When you walk away with dignity and strength, the impact isn't just immediate, it's long-lasting. Not just on those you leave behind, but on yourself. Walking away isn't just a momentary action, it's a statement that reverberates through your life, shaping how you see yourself and how others see you. Let's explore the profound, long-term effects this simple yet powerful act can have. First, walking away builds self-respect. Every time you choose to remove yourself from a toxic situation, you're telling yourself, I deserve better. And over time, that message begins to sink in. You start to believe it. You start to carry yourself differently. You stop tolerating disrespect, manipulation, and negativity Because you've set a standard for how you want to be treated, walking away becomes more than just a choice. It becomes a habit of self-love. And here's the fascinating part. The more you respect yourself, the more others respect you too. People notice when you're unshakable, when you don't let petty arguments or toxic people disrupt your peace. They see that you value yourself, and they start to value you in turn. Your actions set the tone for how others treat you. When you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you create space for relationships and opportunities that do. But let's not forget about personal growth. Walking away requires strength and discipline, and every time you do it, you're strengthening those mental muscles. You're teaching yourself to prioritize your long-term peace over short-term satisfaction. You're learning to let go of things that hold you back, whether it's a toxic relationship, a draining friendship, or even a self-destructive habit. This kind of growth doesn't happen overnight, but with each step you take, you're becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Walking away also shifts your perspective. When you step back from a situation, you gain clarity. You start to see things for what they are, not just what you hoped they'd be. This distance allows you to reflect, to learn, and to grow. You might realize that you were holding on to something that wasn't meant for you, or you might see how your silence and absence have prompted others to change their behavior. Either way, you come out of the experience with a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Now, let's talk about the lasting impression you leave on others. When you walk away quietly, without drama, you leave people with their thoughts, and those thoughts linger. They'll wonder why you left, what they could have done differently, and what they lost when you walked away. And sometimes that realization can lead to regret, respect, or even transformation. But here's the important part. Their reaction isn't your responsibility. You didn't walk away for them. You did it for you. So, what can you do to embrace these long-term benefits? Start by seeing every situation as a chance to grow. The next time you need to walk away, remind yourself that this isn't just about removing yourself from negativity. It's about creating space for something better. It's about showing yourself the respect you deserve and building a life that aligns with your values. If this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your growth. Go to the comments and write, "Walking away is my strength." Let it be a declaration of your commitment to your own peace and growth. And don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach others who are ready to embrace this powerful mindset. Walking away is a powerful tool, but it's just one part of the equation. To truly live a life of peace and self-respect, you need to balance the ability to walk away with the art of setting healthy boundaries. Walking away sends a message, but boundaries are what prevent you from needing to walk away in the first place. Together, they create a foundation for stronger relationships and a stronger sense of self. Boundaries are about protecting your peace, your energy, and your values. They're not about controlling others. They're about defining what you will and won't accept in your life. When you set clear boundaries, you communicate your standards without needing to explain yourself repeatedly. It's not about building walls. It's about building a framework that supports mutual respect and understanding. Here's where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics believed that we should focus on what we can control, our actions, our responses, and our mindset. Boundaries are a perfect example of this. You can't control how others behave, but you can control what you tolerate. By setting boundaries, you're taking control of your interactions and ensuring that they align with your values. For example, let's say someone in your life frequently disrespects your time. They cancel plans last minute, show up late, or disregard your schedule. Instead of letting resentment build up, you can set a boundary. If you can't respect my time, I won't make plans with you. It's clear, it's firm, and it puts the responsibility on them to meet your standards. If they continue to disrespect your time, that's when walking away becomes the next step. Your boundary gives them the chance to change, but your willingness to walk away shows that you mean it. Boundaries are also crucial for fostering healthy relationships. When you set boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you. People who value you will respect those boundaries because they care about your well-being, and those who don't, they'll show themselves out, saving you the trouble. Walking away and boundaries go hand in hand. They filter out the negativity and make room for connections built on respect and mutual understanding. But let's talk about how this applies to you. Walking away isn't just for extreme situations, it's also for enforcing boundaries. If someone crosses a line after you've made your expectations clear, walking away is your way of reinforcing that boundary. It's not about punishing them, it's about staying true to yourself and protecting your peace. Here's a practical tip. Start small. Identify one area in your life where you feel your boundaries are being tested. It could be a friend who takes advantage of your kindness, a coworker who doesn't respect your time, or even your own habit of overcommitting. Set a boundary, write it down if you need to, and commit to walking away if that boundary is repeatedly crossed. You'll be amazed at how empowering it feels to take control of your life in this way, and if this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your boundaries. Go to the comments and write, "I set boundaries that protect my peace." Let it serve as a reminder to yourself and an inspiration to others. And don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach more people who are ready to take charge of their lives. Walking away and setting boundaries don't just protect you from negativity. They actively create space for better opportunities and stronger relationships to come into your life. When you remove the things, people, and situations that drain your energy, you open the door for what truly aligns with your values and your goals. It's not just about leaving the wrong things behind, it's about making room for the right things to find you. Think of it this way, life is like a garden. If you're constantly watering weeds, giving your time, energy, and attention to people or situations that don't respect you, you leave no room for the flowers to grow. But when you clear out those weeds, when you set boundaries and walk away from what no longer serves you, you create fertile ground for something beautiful to take root. Here's an example. Imagine you're in a toxic friendship where you're always giving but rarely receiving. You feel drained, unappreciated, and maybe even used. When you finally decide to walk away, it might feel difficult at first. You might question if you made the right choice, but as time goes on, you'll notice something amazing. The energy you once poured into that friendship is now available for new connections, for people who appreciate and uplift you. Walking away clears the path for relationships that are built on mutual respect and support. This principle applies to opportunities as well. Sometimes we hold on to things out of fear of losing a job, fear of missing out, or fear of change. But by holding on to something that doesn't serve you, you're closing yourself off from better opportunities. Walking away from a toxic work environment, for example, might feel risky, but it could lead to a career that aligns with your skills and values. Setting boundaries with your time might mean saying no to small, draining tasks, but it opens you up to focus on bigger, more fulfilling goals. The Stoics understood this idea of letting go to make room for better things. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Sometimes the things that seem like obstacles, walking away, setting boundaries, are actually the catalysts for growth. They're the steps you need to take to move closer to the life you truly want. But there's another layer to this. When you walk away from negativity and enforce boundaries, you radiate confidence. You show the world and yourself that you're not afraid to prioritize your well-being. That kind of energy is magnetic. It draws in people and opportunities that align with your values because you're sending a clear signal, "I know my worth and I won't settle for less." Here's how to start attracting better opportunities today. First, identify one thing in your life that isn't serving you: a toxic relationship, a draining habit, or a negative environment. commit to walking away or setting a boundary to create space for something better. Then, take a moment to reflect on what you want to attract into your life. Be clear about your goals, your values, and the kind of relationships or opportunities you desire. When you focus on what you want, you naturally start to align your actions and your energy with those things. If this resonates with you, take a moment to declare your commitment to growth. Go to the comments and write, "I make room for better opportunities in my life." Let it be a reminder that you're choosing to prioritize your well-being and your future. And don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach more people who are ready to embrace this mindset. When you embrace the power of walking away and setting boundaries, you're doing more than just protecting yourself in the present. You're creating a legacy of strength, self-respect, and empowerment that shapes not only your life, but also the way others perceive and remember you. This legacy isn't built overnight, but with every choice you make to prioritize your peace and stand by your values, you're leaving a lasting impression that speaks volumes about who you are. Let's start with strength. Every time you walk away from something or someone that no longer serves you, you're reinforcing a message to yourself. I am strong enough to let go. That strength becomes a part of your character. It's not just about the one decision, it's about who you're becoming in the process. Over time, you'll notice that situations that once rattled you no longer have the same effect. You'll feel unshakable, not because life has become easier, but because you've become stronger. And here's the incredible part, that strength inspires others. People watch how you carry yourself, even when you think no one is paying attention. They see your ability to walk away with dignity, to set boundaries with confidence, and to prioritize your values. Your actions become a model for others to follow, whether it's your friends, your family, or even strangers who are drawn to your presence. You show them what it looks like to live with self-respect and integrity. Self-respect is the foundation of this legacy. When you walk away from disrespect, you're not just reacting to a single moment, you're defining what you will and won't accept in your life. That definition becomes part of your identity. It shapes the way you see yourself and the way others see you. People begin to understand that you're someone who values themselves too much to settle for anything less than respect, kindness, and authenticity. And that understanding changes the way they approach you. They'll think twice before crossing your boundaries because they know you mean what you say. But a legacy isn't just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. Imagine looking back on your life and knowing that you lived with courage, integrity, and a commitment to your own growth. That's the legacy you're building every time you choose to walk away from negativity and make room for something better. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take toward prioritizing your peace is a step toward the life you deserve. Here's how to start building this legacy today. Reflect on your recent decisions. Ask yourself, am I living in a way that aligns with my values? Am I setting boundaries and walking away when necessary? If the answer is yes, celebrate that progress. If the answer is no, use this as an opportunity to start fresh. Remember, every choice you make, big or small, contributes to the legacy you leave behind. If this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your legacy. Go to the comments and write, I am building a legacy of strength and self-respect. Let it serve as a reminder of your commitment to yourself and your growth. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It helps this message reach others who are ready to step into their power. Now it's time to bring everything together. We've talked about the power of silence, the impact of walking away, the importance of boundaries, and how these choices shape your legacy. But how do you take these principles and apply them to your daily life? How do you use them to transform not only your relationships, but also your mindset and your future? It starts with intention. You must make a conscious decision to live by these principles. Walking away and setting boundaries aren't just actions, they're a mindset, a commitment to valuing yourself and your peace above all else. The next time you're faced with a situation that tests your patience or challenges your self-worth, ask yourself this: does engaging in this serve me, or does it drain me? If it drains you, walk away. If it disrespects your boundaries, enforce them. And if it disrupts your peace, let it go. But transformation doesn't stop there. It requires reflection. After you've walked away from a toxic situation, take time to reflect on what you've gained by leaving. Maybe it's a renewed sense of peace, a clearer mind, or even just the satisfaction of knowing you stood up for yourself. Reflection helps you internalize these moments, turning them into lessons that strengthen you for the future. Now let's talk about consistency. Applying these principles once or twice won't change your life, but making them a habit will. Start small. Practice setting boundaries with people you trust. Walk away from minor conflicts that don't deserve your energy. As you build confidence in these smaller actions, you'll find it easier to apply them to bigger, more challenging situations. Over time, you'll notice that these principles become second nature, a part of who you are. And let's not forget about gratitude. When you create space by walking away from what doesn't serve you, take a moment to appreciate what you're making room for. Whether it's healthier relationships, better opportunities, or simply a greater sense of inner peace, be grateful for the progress you're making. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you're gaining, and that shift is transformative. Here's a practical way to start today. Identify one situation in your life where you feel your energy is being wasted. It could be a draining relationship, a habit that no longer serves you, or even an internal struggle with self-doubt. Commit to walking away or setting a boundary, then reflect on how it feels to take that step. You'll be amazed at the clarity and empowerment that come from taking control of your own story. If this resonates with you, take a moment to declare your commitment to transformation. Go to the comments and write, "I am transforming my life with strength and peace." Let it be a reminder that you're choosing to live intentionally, to value yourself, and to embrace a future built on self-respect and clarity. And while you're at it, don't forget